Hello, so today I thought I would discuss again about exercise. And this one is my favorite, and it's about walking. You're three and you're walking. And so there's like 5 different ways you can walk, and I thought, who would have thought there was 5 different ways? Anyway, so we're going to talk about these 5. So the first one is rucking. And I had never heard this before. I mean, I've seen it, but I didn't know what it was called or if it had a name. But anyway, it is if you are using weights on a backpack or, a vest, V-E-S-T, so you use your V hands, a vest, like I'm wearing a vest. So a vest, and you have your weights either in the back or the front or all around. I've seen people with water bottles or canteen looking things all around them. So that way they can drink them and but still have the weight. And so while you're walking there, but if you add too much weight, then you could hurt yourself. So go slow, just have like small weights. I've seen people like walk with the weights in their hands, but they're saying if you have it on a backpack or a vest, so then you can have your hands free and walk that way. Anyway, so as I said, it helps. So, and then the second way is called the 666 method. I had never heard of that, 666, but they said that you're trying to remember. So either you start walking at 6 in the morning or 6. You have it's watch 6, so it's 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the evening. And then you do it for 60 minutes. And then you either have a warm up, and you spell up, or a cool down. You can say cool down, even instead of spelling it, a cool down for 6 minutes. And you can decide if you want it, if you want it to warm up first or to cool down, at the end. So that's the 666, right? So 6 in the morning or 6 in the evening, 60 minutes, kind of a cheating on there, and then 6 minutes to either cool down or to warm up. And they said that, kind of helps, people remember, how long or, when do I start? Because sometimes, I don't have time. But if you have a designated time to do something, you don't normally do it if you have a schedule. And here's the third way, walking yoga, and I spelled yoga. And that's if you like walk and then you stop and then do a yoga pose, and then you walk again. So you do that while you're walking. So if you walk 30 minutes or 60 minutes, then you kind of stop in between and do yoga. So you can do that. So maybe get some easy yoga stands if you're not accustomed to doing yoga, and do it that way. And then the fourth way is that you add like speed walking, like you're walking along, and then like after maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes you walk faster, and then you do that for like 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, and then you slow down again, and so you do it back and forth. And actually I read an article about senior citizens, and they did that in Japan, that they found that the seniors had better health and they lost weight if they would just and then they would speed it up, and then they'd walk normal again, and they would just do that throughout periodically during their walk. So they said that works. And then the last one, number 5, is Nordic walking. I had never heard that before. But I've seen people with those the poles, and they have the poles they walk, and you can, instead of like buying a pole and they may be weighted, you can get like walking sticks. I've seen people with a stick or a cane. It doesn't have to be like an old person cane, but sticks or those little poles. But they said, and you can just do like normal walking, but because you're moving your arms, bigger than you would if you were just like walking normally, your arms are this way. But if you have these poles, then your arms are moving bigger than, just the normal. Because if you're walking really fast, your arms do move. But if you're walking at a regular pace, they probably don't. So this is a way to get that you can walk at a regular pace, but have your arms move, they're moving more. So those are the 5 different ways. I thought they were good ideas. I've had like water, but I would have it on a crossbody, so I could have it while I'm walking, especially in the summertime, that I could drink. But they're saying that the weighted vest, so you have water here and here, or a backpack and it's on your back, and they do that with the military, and that's where they got the idea. And the Nordic, they got that idea from the cross-country skier. They're not skiing the whole time. Sometimes they have to walk in the snow, so they're not walking fast, but they have the poles. So you get the ideas from either different sports or the military, or even like astronauts, and they do different things. So you can try any of these 5 and figure out which is the best for you or your friends or your family, and look at their age and go, oh, I heard that study in Japan for senior citizens, they do the walking and then they try to walk a little bit faster, and it doesn't have to be a specific time period, and maybe just 1 or 2 minutes that they do the faster and then they go back. But if they just go back and forth with the fast and the slow, with the fast and the slow, it's a better exercise for them. So, just kind of do it and start slowly and not fast, or I have to buy a lot of equipment. I mean, if you have, a backpack, most people do, then you just put your water in there, or a weight in there. So it just depends, because if you have the water, then you can start off when you're stronger, and then while you're walking, you can drink it and it's lighter. And anyway, but you could do any of those choices, but just don't start off too strong. Work your way up to that. Anyway, discuss it with your friends and your family, and you can sign it now, and you can say it, and a little bit of information, and so you can move forward with that. So anyway, enjoy and have a good day. Bye.